everybody, it's Monday night. It's time for your plastic crack fix. Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 9 already. We're almost up to double figures for the year. Episode 9 of the Plastic Crack Podcast. Big thank you to everyone who's watching this on the catch-up. I always appreciate people taking their time to watch it later on in the week at their leisure.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know he's mentioned it this week.
Yeah, do you know what? I replayed that like 3 times last week. Just for my pleasure. I sat there afterwards just replaying it. Just what a tit.
You just got about the bog standard penis gag. That's normally the go-to insult.
I know. I wanted to vary things.
Don't forget, we are. So the Plastic Crack Podcast is very, very, very proudly sponsored by, or very proud to be sponsored by, Boards and Swords Hobby in Derby. Don't forget, use the code. It's PCP5. We'll throw this up at some point during the evening's proceedings, but this will get you an additional 5% discount off what is already discounted at Ian's store anyway. So yes, PCP5. Go and check out Boards and Swords Hobbies for all your gaming tomfoolery and bits and pieces.
I was going to say for all your cracky needs.
Cracky needs. No,
that's why you just go to Derby.
Cracky knees. That's what I feel like some mornings. Cracky
I wouldn't go in there and ask for anything like that. You might get ejected from the premises. So yes, episode 9. Tonight's theme is a bit of something we've touched upon in the past. It's wargaming and social media, because I think we're going to touch on this later on, obviously with the main subject. But I don't think there's ever been a time that the hobby has been that sort of ingrained with social media. I mean, you can go on different forums, there's different Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the stuff that the cool kids are using. And I just thought it'd be interesting just to say how far do people use it? Are they big users? Are they sort of minor users? Do they have their preferred platforms that they use? The certain ones they avoid? But we'll get to that later for the meat of the subject. What we're going to do first, though, is find out who was blessed us this evening with their presence on a Monday night.
I think we need Ken to do a public service announcement and help out poor old Matt. He says he's sat with his 2-year-old on his lap and she's refusing to go to sleep. No offense, lads, but hoping you can send her to sleep. So, Ken, do you want to talk about trains or something for a couple of minutes? That's bound to send him to sleep.
I haven't touched any trains this week.
That's surprising.
I can't help.
The amount of goblins you've printed off.
Count goblins, yeah. Just count. Don't count sheep. Count goblins.
Yes,
I'm not lying. I am kind of counting goblins in my sleep. To be fair.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no.
So how many have you printed so far?
140.
How many have you painted?
Technically, I've painted one completely because he was my test model. I've got about 18 archers that are pretty much done, but I've decided to go batch paint, so I'm not going to touch them until I've reached that process.
You're going to take Benjamin as inspiration for your batch painting.
Yes, he actually did inspire me. I'm not going to lie. So I thought, if I'm going to batch paint anything, I thought goblins would be night goblins. Will be the best one.
Goblins and classic skeletons. None of this skeleton.
Oh yeah,
just classic. Just bones and shields.
Yeah, exactly. Classic skeletons and night goblins. They're like the easiest ones to paint. To be fair.
Skeletons are the easiest thing to paint in the world.
Oh yeah, skeletons are so easy. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. When it comes out the old world, I'm going to do a vampire counts army. I think.
I
was going to go Tomb Kings, but I just like the idea of the vampires and the ghouls and all that. I'm not too sure if they use the old mini. I know what you're going to say. Are you going to print that? If they use the old minis, I might get tempted to buy some old minis just for nostalgia reasons because I never got to. But if not, I'll just print it.
Do you reckon they'll re-release that crappy Nagash model that they had? That was literally one of the worst models they've ever produced. It was terrible.
Yeah, but I sold that and I got 130 quid.
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
John,
you're not lying.
You capitalist profiteer, you.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I couldn't believe I had it because I got rid of all my vampire accounts like bit by bit. I stripped them, and that Nagash was. I mean, it was terrible. It was bad.
Yeah,
you know. And
it's an Age of Sigmar model, but you can't use it. It's too far, isn't it?
Yeah. I stripped it, and then I put it on eBay, and I think I did the starting bid at like £5 because I thought that'd be right, and it's still the model that I've sold. It's just gone the most for it. They're just going and going. Like, okay, that's fine, absolutely fine. Keep going. Genuinely, it went. I was on there for 7 days, and it went for 130 quid. Which is weird because I then put up like a battalion of, I think it was like Landwehr, and they went for like 30 fully painted and based. That one of the ones I did the painting tutorial, like how to paint these. They went for like 30 quid.
Damn.
Don't worry, folks. There'll be subtitles along anytime soon for anybody who didn't understand any of that.
Translations,
like me.
Speaking of Ken's inspiration, Benjamin is here in the chat. Hello, Benjamin. The award goes to Jonas though for the first comment.
I saw.
It was about 10 minutes after I set the stream up this morning. So let's have a look at who we've got. So Benjamin's here. Nigel Jones, Lazy Pirate Painting, Ham and Jam. Mark Forsyth, who's watching Tabletop CP Chain of Command game while waiting for the boys to start. Good stuff. Hello, Don. Thanks for the information and advice about the American Civil War as well, Don. Really appreciate that. Barnes White's here. East Norfolk's. Mozart Jones is here. Lionheart. Pat Neal. John Sowerby. Good afternoon from Miami. What's the weather like there, John? I bet it's a bit nicer than it's been around here. Harpham's here. Carl Burke. Yorkshire Dragoon. Steve Harbour. Me. Nathan McGowan. Rich John. Paul's Paint Shed. Hello, Paul. Red Steph. David Baker, Mobile Hostel, Duke Wellington. Good day again from Oz. Hope you're all well. We're all very, very well. Thank you for asking. Karazette, Andrew JF, Frank's Miniatures, Hideyoshi. Oh, he's made it. Hideyoshi Daryl better be good. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be really good. It's not quite got the metal slant to it, but it's still going to be a good one.
I do like the Giga-esque profile picture.
Whoa, yes.
They've lost me with that one, Don. I don't know what that is.
Giga, HR Giga.
HR Giga.
Yeah.
The alien art, the artwork from Alien.
Oh, yeah, I know what the artwork from Alien is, yeah, but I didn't know the name.
Yeah. So Philip Hyman's here, Louis Baby, friend of General Haig. Hello, Andy. Storm of Steel Wargaming. Hello, Alex. Did anyone watch Alex's tutorial for painting 15mm Soviets? I'm glad it's not just me that hates painting boots. I thought I despise them as well. Else is here. Matt Wright. Miller. Hello, Miller is here. John City, etc. Man. Hello, Ken. Ken did an interesting video about Warlord's new resin. Did anyone see that?
No, it's on my wait list, on my list to watch. Actually.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, you better watch it.
Is it controversial?
Not controversial, just the watch Ken's video, he'll explain it. Old school FRP, Robin's here. Hello, Robin. Hello, Leslie. Mini Agnostic. Hello, John Clarkey, Steve Betts, Battle Knights, White Stag Miniature. Hello, James. Shakos and Spruce. Hello, other James. Alan Roberts. Walkabout Games. Shrink 7 is here. Jack Todd. Jack is painting the last few Saxons. I've never painted Saxons. That's a new one for me. Kagamusha. Hello. Gary Phillips. Neil Oldham. I'm getting to the end here. Event Horizon Models. Good evening, all. Hello. There's a question from Leslie for you, Ken. So even though you've got prepare for a drink, everybody, a 3D printer, you're still going to buy Games Workshop models?
If nostalgia, why not?
Yeah. I agree with that. Andy Rue, hello. Rob and Rose Hobden. Thomas Penner. Because of Ben, hello from Texas.
Hello.
Hello. Good tell you what, we're certainly racking up what's interesting. We're racking the countries, but we're also racking up the states for America as well.
We are. We need to repost the map, Dom. We need to boost that.
Well, I think we need to actually change the map so that we actually put in more provinces or counties or something, because you're right. We do America, but the first one did that, and then we seem to get all parts of America, which is great. And it'd be nice for the UK as well. So I need to find something that'll do it. That's my challenge.
Yeah, Texas. I think have we had anyone from Texas before? I can't recall. I know we've had New Mexico and around that area. Yeah, Alaska. Yeah. Skateboard Link, hello Corey, hope you're doing well, mate. Oh, apparently it's too bloody hot, 89 Fahrenheit on Saturday. That sounds a bit
right. Yellow card for him straight away.
Yeah, straight away. Oh, it's
gonna snow here tonight, so
we've got Gunny Highway. Hello from northern Michigan.
Oh,
hey,
Gunny.
How dare you, gentlemen? I love the Clown Prince Nagash model. It's just terrible. Martin Sevens, your metal, do you cut them for basing? Actually, that is profile picture of the night right there.
That is brilliant.
For a minute there, I didn't know who's like, do you cut your metal? And I was like, no, I listen to every track all the way through, every album. You cut. Yes. It depends on what they are. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I know that's not very helpful. I'm trying to think about stuff I have. So like some of the Crusader stuff, I did because I like pressing the way I do the basing is it works quite well pressing them into it. But for like the Perrys and the Wars of Roses, I didn't bother because I just put them all on the bases and then built up the base around them. So that's probably a really unhelpful answer. I apologize.
I forgot. I'm going to run and get Vimto. It'll be 2 minutes. You can do your little win. Yeah, I was meant to get Vimto. I was meant to get Vimto. I forgot. Yeah, 2 secs.
Who else is there? So Adam Curley say, hi guys, Paul Crouch. I definitely agree with this. A day filled with plastic crack is always a great day. I think Conan the Barbarian said that as well. I could be wrong.
What is best in life? Someone.
You've killed Martin now.
It was. No, we were talking about t-shirts and stuff. What is best? Can we do a skit on the what is best in life?
Yeah.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you.
I like that.
And hear the rule book snapping shut. I
don't. Sean Clark's here. Kevin Steady. Hello, Kevin. Roger Chrysler from Ontario. Wow, it's definitely an international podcast tonight. It really is. People from all over the place.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Double dip. We've got. I think we're at the end. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Sorry.
Evening all, just finished my first battalion for Old Guard chasseurs and only one more. 2 battalions of Grenadiers and 4 battalions of Middle Guard for the Grand Army. How many drummers were painted in that escapade? Because it's more than I'd do. Let's put it that way. Let's have a look. Oh, music. I'm losing it. Who else is here? Well, yeah. I think we're at the end. There we go. I think we may have killed Martin. So, right, we're up to date with the comments, and Ken's back with the Vimto, so we can all.
Thank God for that. We can carry on.
We can all rest easy. Just a quick word on. We're going to be making a bit of an announcement later on in the podcast. It could be anything really. We're not quite sure yet, but no, there will be an announcement later on in the podcast. So that's where we are up to. So let's find out what we've all been up to this week. Let's start with the Goblin King himself, Ken.
No, don't start with me yet. I've got to put my pictures on.
Okay. Let's not start with the Goblin King. Dom, what have you been up to?
Well, I've not been doing any bloody goblins, that's for sure. What have I been doing? I've been carrying on with my Bruce's in Ireland project. So cracking on with that. Excuse me, just about to up. Some more Kerns, another unit Kerns. And another unit of Kerns because I realised I need an awful lot of Kerns. So there's 2 units more of that.
I keep on thinking you're saying curtains.
Curtains.
I need a lot of curtains.
I need a lot of curtains in this shed, I can tell you. Yeah. And then I did some Scottish men-at-arms, dismounted men-at-arms.
I like them.
I like them. Very colourful.
Yeah, I've just decided to stick with I thought the grungy old sort of Irish Kerns and whatnot can be not curtains. Kerns can be sort of a bit drab.
I've got him doing it now.
My drab curtains and then my colourful for the nights. They're going to be sort of bright and breezy. So there you go. Yeah, so that was that. And then I found it in my stash of opportunity, this mule train sort of supply wagon thing.
Cool.
Which I thought I'd just do up because it's kind of useful to have. I stuck a dog on it because I seem to have got loads of dogs since I've been doing these Irish fellows. So I got masses of them. And then I thought I just fancied doing something completely different. So and since the garden's all been dug up, I can go and play tanks in the mud. So that's what I did. So I painted up some T-34s. So 15 mil jobbies. These are our favourites, Steve.
Our favourites, yes.
Our favourite from Battlefront. So, and this time round, I remembered to do them with different, rather than throwing away the other turrets, because you can do them as 76s or 85s.
Ah, right, okay.
Because I didn't realise, and I was stupid. So the first lot I all threw away. I did them as one or the other. This time I thought, well, I can just keep the other turrets and swap them over. So there you go, the 85 variants.
That's one good thing about those Battlefront kits. You get so many variants on them. It's not just one kit. There's loads. I mean, the German ones. There's loads of different options you can have on them.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Battlefront fanboy. I absolutely love their stuff.
Yeah, you do like a bit of Battlefront. Don't you?
They are superb. They are so good.
They are really, really good. Just fantastic quality.
The plastic's good, and the kits are easy to put together. And,
oh God, yeah.
And they paint up nice and quickly. Even Martin wouldn't have too many palpitations for doing 15 mil Battlefront armor.
I've got Battlefront armor.
You got the Shermans, yeah.
I've got Shermans that are still sitting here unpainted. But
you've got Germans as well, though, haven't you, Martin? You could I've
got an entire German Panzer Grenadier. 2 Panzer Grenadier platoons.
Oh. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice, your Germans. I've seen them. Yeah, nice.
They just haven't seen the light of day for a really long time.
No, I keep trying to buy them every time I go up and see you.
So, Dom, did you enjoy playing in the garden with your tanks?
Do you know, I did. It was great fun. And then the digger came along and I thought I'd better move them before they get squashed. So, yes.
Bastard ruined your fun.
Did. And then it snowed or rained today and I had to come.
Yeah, it did rain, didn't it? It was horrible.
It was like, oh, that's no fun.
This afternoon, wasn't it? Horrible.
It was like one of those retro moments. Did you do that as a kid? Did you go and play out in the garden?
With the little army men.
Yeah.
Green and tanned.
Yes.
Mine were the Airfix, the big ones. I can't remember what scale that was. 150 something or other.
150. No.
132nd.
Yeah, something like that. It was something like that.
I forget the big ones anyway. So I used to. Leslie will probably post any second now. I used to go out in the garden with them, and then for years after, you find them in your parents' garden. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So.
When I was younger, we used to make buildings out of balsa and then just set fire to them.
I like that. That's good. We used to make airfix planes and set fire to their tails and chuck them out the top window. That was fun. With a bit of petrol on them.
You lot are fucking nuts.
How's the Huey going? I'm currently
Looking
painting the two pilots. That's all I've done so far. I said the other week that kit terrifies me. I keep opening the box, looking at it, having palpitations.
But you're the kit bash king, Steve.
I know, but this isn't about kit bashing. This is building out of the box and
following instructions.
Following instructions, and I keep seeing people posting them on the Rubicon community page, and I'm like, I really should make a start on this. And I keep getting distracted. Then I go back to it. Then I'm terrified, and it's just it's a horrible cycle. But no, it will. I'm going to say I'm going to have it done before the middle of June. That's when it's going to be done by.
Okay, you heard it here, folks.
You heard it here first.
Dom, I still think you should try one, mate. I really do.
I should do. I'll do it as one of those reaction videos. I'll probably get taken off the air within about 10 seconds from the swearing that went on. I can't even attach regular figures with super glue without swearing like a navvy. It's ridiculous. So what chance have I got with that? No chance at all.
Tim, I'm going to stop fannying around at some point. I really am. I might start. Actually, no, I can't this weekend. I'm at that tournament this weekend, so I might. I don't know. I'm going to do it either way. So, Martin, have you been playing in the garden with tanks as well?
No. No, I haven't. I should have done, really. I should have done some tanks.
You've had a better week.
I haven't had a great week, no, for reasons that I won't go into. But I have done stuff. I've done a lot of work on bits and bobs of the Crusades. I'm painting the Varangian Guard at the minute from Fireforge, and the hatred I had when I stuck these together has gone now, because painting them is lovely. They're really fun to paint. They're just horrendous to stitch. It's exactly the same as that tank that I did for Star Wars. That vehicle is horrendous to put together, but painting them and the color schemes and researching all the stuff about the Varangian Guard is a lot of fun. But I did finish my Andalusian crossbowmen.
Nice.
So sweet, dude.
I think they're just too good, Martin.
How many you got on that base mine? How many are you got there?
There's 6 on the base. There's 6 on it. No, there's 6 on the one on the left and 7 on the one on the right.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're your normal. They're your normal 60 by 40s, are
they? Just more. Hang on a minute. No, there's 6 on each. There's 6 on each. It's just one guy's bending over, so he looks like his bum's sticking out, and then I'm counting his head twice. Hang on, I've got a more zoom. There you go.
There we go.
Nice, there you go. Nice. So no, they are. They were a joy. I mean, you got your drinks ready. These are 3D printed.
Drink.
So these are the Reconquer design ones. Now these are meant, they're meant to be Andalusian. I'm just going to use them as mercenaries, because the Seljuks and the other sort of Islamic forces, they employed mercenaries all the time. The Normans employed them, the Byzantines employed them, and I just kind of thought they looked like a cool little company to do together. So I've tried to stick to sort of like lighter colours, and then the only thing I've done in common is the sort of like the sort of turban parts. I've just left those as white. And I
like that pinky purple one. He looks like it's almost like velvet. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's quite a nice colour. Yeah.
Do you know what colour I dry brushed that with? Flesh. I used flesh.
Did you? How funny.
And then the highlights on the so he's just got a flesh dry brush on him, Dark Flesh by Vallejo. And then the guy in the bottom left, kneeling, the red, that's the absolute highlights of that. Because I went a bit nuts with my highlighting, so the guy in red's got 4 different ones. So I just wanted to play. Yeah, I just wanted to play around with the because I'm undercoating them with quite extreme contrast. Like I'm not doing like a zenithal at 45 degrees. I'm basically doing it straight from above. Like there's no mid-tone, because I like that for this lot. I like the high contrast. Gives the impression of the sun beating down, or it does in my head anyway. So greater shadows. So I just put the contrast on, and then I just kept on adding more. Which one is this? Dark Flesh to what's it called? Evil Sun Scarlet, and just kept on working it up onto the knee. I just thought it looked like it was more sun bleached and worn. I did the same for the guy in the orange down the end.
Very nice.
So it was just fun. It was just fun to play with. So no, I've done them, and then I've been, as you guys know, working on my super secret project, and so there we go. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah.
There we go. Although I've got I've been editing that bloody battle report from against young James Miller, and I've managed so far. I'm nearly done. I've got 5 hours of footage down to 1 hour 50. So it's getting there. But I've got hopefully we've got a continuation of our mine and Robin's saga tomorrow. I've got to Get my saga. I got to get
saga.
and then all I'm doing is prepping to go to Gothenburg at the weekend for a stag do.
Not mine.
Not yours. No, not yours. I'm going to go cold because it's going to be -8 apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mate. Imagine if you get stuck over there. You didn't think of that, did you?
What's wrong with that? This is Sweden.
Yeah, it's bloody expensive.
Lots of good heavy metal in Sweden, mate. I'll be fine.
True, yeah.
Right, let's move on to the Goblin King. What have you been up to, Ken?
All I can think about now is David Bowie. No, you said that.
Yeah, the Goblin King.
Someone please get his head and Photoshop it. Actually, no, don't do that.
So yeah, as you might allude to, I've been doing Goblins. So this is the paint scheme finished. I need to do the basing's not done. I'm going to go Goblin green around the squares as well.
What, like proper old school?
Yeah, proper old school, maybe, and just a bit of grass on the thing. On there, just go proper old school on it. But that's one of the night goblins. These grab your drink, 3D printed, which I quite like because this is an independent artist who's done these, and they're completely free, which is nice.
Ticks all your boxes.
Yeah. But the other thing that I liked about it is I think it still chucks back to the original GW plastic night goblins. Is that
No, it does. I mean, it's got them in the hood. The hood is the iconic.
Yeah, the hood.
Yeah,
exactly. So you've got the hood, and I just like it. I just think it looks really cool. So that was like the first one. Then you've got. I'll show you some others. So then you've got the Fanatic.
Now you see those were so cool. I did.
I was thinking about this. Their spiky ball is slightly larger than the old school ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I really liked about it as well. Because obviously I could piss about it if I wanted to make it small, but I like it like that. I think it's really cool. And then I went the opposite end of the spectrum. This is the boss. So boss riding a squig. And what I like about all this is it's all unique. You know what I mean? These are all unique, like minis, which is just cool. I just love it. It's like not normally you wouldn't see a night goblin army like this. So no, that's what I mean. But yeah, he's riding a squig, because why not? But then I went the other end of the spectrum, and I printed a giant to go with the army. So you can see in comparison to the size. But that there is one print. So that was done in one print. That wasn't done put together pieces. That's just one print.
Well, all the bits on them as well.
Everything,
like
everything,
the
cow, everything. Yeah, one piece print.
Last week I was trying to work out if you were to go back in time to sort of 1991, 1992 when these were initially released.
Yeah,
how much that would cost in actual real life money these days? Because I remember the actual the goblins, they were sold individually, and they're about £1.50 each back then.
This is the problem. Yeah, the metal ones. Yeah, this is the problem Fantasy had, wasn't it? That to get into the game, you need obviously it's based on regiments, and you needed a lot of stuff. So this is the whole complete army that I've printed over the last week.
We don't realize that's just one unit.
You can actually do that. All those goblins can just be one unit if they wanted to be, which is pretty cool.
Tell you what, Yorkshire Ken would certainly approve of the size of that block anyway.
I think he'd feel conflicted.
He would. It's fantasy, and then it's
size is good, but if you look
wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong subject matter. So what we've got the Fanatics at the front, the guys with the spinny balls, which I love the poses on them. They're all dynamic, and they're doing different things. I've got just grots with spears, swords, clubs, bows. So just your standard stuff for night goblins. But then at the back, you've got like a few squigs, small squigs with a herder, giant. You've got like a shaman wizard with another squig on the side there, in front of the other one, which is
squig on the side.
Squig on the side. Yeah.
You're right there, Dom. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, he's not even heard of it. And then
Dom's not here right now. He's just left the building.
The best thing about this is the thing on the back left-hand corner is the Doom Diver catapult.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the Doom Diver catapult's there, and I've also got 6 Doom Divers that are flying as I just need to get flight stands for them. I'm trying to work out what to do with them. I might do trees and them above the trees. I'm not too sure. I'll just go with the plastic.
I
haven't got any nets. I didn't, but he does do nets, but the list I've done is without nets, but it's obviously something that I can add to. But this is just the goblins. He does all the orcs as well. So like all the different orcs that you know were back in the day. He does different varieties of those. So I've got all the files for the orcs, and I'm sure I'll be expanding to because I like the boar boys, the guys on the boars. I'll expand to, and spider riders and all that sort of stuff. So it just kind of tickled my fancy. I just want, like I said to you before, I want an easy paint job, and these are easy in my eyes because I can batch paint them. That's what I want to do. I want to batch paint.
Cool. No,
I'm
giving you a sort of a boost in your mojo.
Yeah, it's for mainly for the old world that's going to come out probably in the next year, and also 6th edition fantasy because I'm going to give Stuart a game of it. He's not far from me. Yeah. He's been doing dwarfs, so yeah, and I'm sure Dom would like a game of Oathmark.
Does anyone remember back in the day, the early 90s, with Warhammer Fantasy Battle? Games Workshop did a box set, and you got 60 miniatures in it, and there were 10 miniatures there was Skaven dwarf, goblins, dark elves, wood elves, and something else, and it gave you a unit of 10 of 6 different factions. I mean, they're all identical figures. But yeah, whenever I think of Warhammer Fantasy Battle, I always think of that box because my mate bought it, and we just used to have random games against each other using homemade rules.
Battle of Skull Pass is the one I think of, fantasy box wise. Skull Pass, the dwarfs versus the night goblins.
No, right.
That's the one that comes to my mind. But I've always liked the vampire counts. Like you have vampire counts, didn't you, Martin? You said.
I had vampire counts, Bretonians, chaos, and I started a high elf army, and then I realised that I hated them. I liked 2 units because I liked it, and I'm sure Dom will even appreciate it. Like this. Basically, I liked the juxtaposition of they had this unit in it called the White Lions, and they were these elves that wielded massive double-handed axes while wearing lion pelts, and I just thought that's quite cool. That's quite
the rest of
like the opposite of what you'd expect. And then I painted those up, and I was like, oh, right. Now I've got to paint the other ones. Like,
they're boring.
I remember when I went into Games Workshop, years and years and years ago, when Ken was but a lad. And I remember, and I don't know, and then I remember someone describing the high elves, like, as essentially, I said, I was looking at some high elves. Genuinely, this person said to me, "Why don't you just go shop at IKEA?" That was their sort of.
And that's Games Workshop.
Yeah,
back in the day, gatekeeping. No, the lizard men always appealed to me as well because of the colours.
Yeah, I mean, the only fantasy battle army I finished, I had quite a large Empire one. But looking back, I don't know how I got through that because
I'm thinking about that. I would have thought you'd have been someone like vampire counts, lizard men.
Do you know why? Like because you didn't have other things to care about, like work.
These were that brilliant plastic set, and you had halberdiers and swordsmen. But the color scheme was quartered red and yellow. What was I thinking? I know, and I must have painted over 100 of these in red and yellow. I mean, if someone tried to make me do that these days, I'd probably start crying. There's no way I'd be able to paint anything in red and yellow these days. No. Right, let's go on. What I think for me, can anyone guess what I was doing last week?
Partisans.
No, it's more O Group.
Okay.
So these are what I was working on the podcast last week. So we've got a couple of verbal vins.
I don't know. Be funny. These are more tanks, yeah. These aren't the tanks. How many tanks have you done, or tankettes, or how many vehicles have you done now?
Well, I've got a photograph coming up. So they were the verbal vins. But then all the armor together. So this is all the armor so far. So
that is very cool.
What sorry, Steve. Are those at the back? Are they Jag Panzers?
Yeah, 2 Jag Panzers, 2 Tiger 2s, 2 Hetzers, 2 Stugs, and 2 Panzer 4s. And then to that, I'm going to add, like I say, the verbal Vins there as well. But they're technically not tanks as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I was just thought when I put them all together, I thought they actually look quite coherent. They actually work quite well. So I'm quite.
Yeah, they do definitely. Yeah,
they're quite chuffed with the camouflage.
Same camo factory.
And then, have you ever worked on something where everything goes wrong at a certain point?
Yes.
Yes.
My life.
These. So these are 2 105mm guns, and the crew are the resin, and I don't like it.
You're not a fan of that, are you?
Total pain to clean up without destroying the detail. But what I do is I paint the guns separately, then I add the crew to the base, paint them on the base, then I add the mud, and then I put the gun onto the base. Now normally what I add the crew prior to painting the gun, so I sort of dry fit it, and this time I didn't, and so when I came to put the guns on, they didn't fit. So I had to literally gouge half of them off the bases to make the guns fit.
That wasn't a happy Steve.
No, I swore for about half an hour. I was not happy. But again, lovely little kits. Those there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of those guns, dead easy to put together, and they paint it really well.
Very nice.
But then
just dry fit them first. Yeah.
No, it's actually put them together is fine. It's put it onto the base, where the crew are, and so they were in the way where you've got the
recesses,
the leg things. They were just all over the place, and I just wasn't happy at all. So what else to do? I fancied a bit of a change, and I've actually got some 15mm US Airborne from that Hit the Beach box. So I just painted these up for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, nice.
But they were really nice to paint. So I've done them in the sort of the later uniform they were using sort of after D-Day.
Market Garden sort of area,
yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And they were just, I mean, this, Dom, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure Alex will tell me as well. I can't find any rules for US Airborne in O Group.
No, I think they haven't done that period yet.
Yeah, so
I've based them
up because I'm going to use these for 15mm bolt action, which is something I'm definitely planning to do this year. But they were really, really nice to paint. I also completed my second company. There we go. So this is B company.
Lovely.
9 bases of these Battlefront Germans. They paint up so easily. They're just really, really nice to paint. And you all these block paint, hit them with a massive wash, and then do the highlights. But then, so I just went a bit. Cheers, Alex.
Steve. I mean, you've done loads.
Yeah, it's been busy boy this week, isn't it?
I've been very, very busy. I was thinking about combat patrol markers in O Group. Now I've seen a lot of people just use poker chips or just templates. Now I was going to use poker chips and sort of put the relevant company detail on there and just build up a bit of a scene. But then I did these.
In a kit bashing you.
So these are just more Battlefront Germans, but I've made little scenes on the poker chips. I just thought they looked a bit more interesting than poker chips. And it didn't take me too long. So
yeah. I really like this.
Oh, cheers, mate. I've got another 6 of those to do, and I've got to make another 9 for my British ones now because I can't just have one side having funky markers like that.
Can't be doing that.
Right. They're great. I did something similar, but I only did single men and put loads of bushes for them to sort of be, scouting in. But they look really good.
That's what I just want to do. Make it look as if they're the crawling through the undergrowth, on small patrol missions.
Very nice.
But that's what I did. So I'm from O Group. I'm down to my last. Once I finish this last company, I'm done. That's my sort of starting battalion. finished. I actually made a video. I did another video. I've made 2 videos in 2 weeks. I've been drinking lots of coffee recently. I think that's the reason why.
He's back on the coffee. We're okay.
Dom, have you got any more plans for Old Group?
Do you know, funny enough, Jono and I were talking about having another game of it. Not this week, the week after. So I think, definitely going to rack it back out again. I want to play some of the early Russian campaign ones because that new supplement came out. And we haven't played any of them yet, so I think that will be 2 weeks' time, definitely.
You got any more? So you've got Germans and Soviets, haven't you?
I've got Germans and Soviets, and somebody dropped a whole load of Americans and Fallschirmjäger on me a while back, which haven't been painted yet.
That.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I should have kept quiet. I could have held on to that.
You got the Americans are yours to keep, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I haven't done the other part of the bargain yet, so I think they and John has just got a load of Russians as well, so I think we'll probably end up. That's just why I went through my bits box and found all those T-34s, and I kept some of them. And I gave the rest to Jono to paint, so he can add armor to his Russians. So I don't know who's going to play Russian, who's going to play Germans, but I'm quite looking forward to playing that. It should be good. Right. I do like a bit of O Group. Very nice.
The Muddy Puddles love it. Yeah, I use this stuff. I think people have used this. It's Vallejo water texture. It's really good. It's what I do is I build up sort of puddles, sort of like little craters in the mud using Vallejo mud. You just drop a couple of drops of this in, leave it to dry for about 3 or 4 hours, and it dries really well, and it does create really good sort of muddy puddles.
I use it on my medieval stuff as well.
Yes, I thought you were using it as well.
Really nice.
Don't forget that mud filter for everything medieval. You gotta have a mud filter.
Gotta have mud. Gotta have mud.
You know, like Hollywood. No, can't have color. Let's just sling mud across
mud everywhere. Oh no, I did colourful nights, but then I put loads of mud all over the bases. So.
Who's Roger's? Excellent.
Oh,
good choice!
Fantastic stuff.
Good choice. I've been answering. There's been a bit. I think there's been a bit of a research. I don't want to say a resurgence in Dead Man's Hand, but in the last month, I've had so many questions. My Dead Man's Hand videos have suddenly just gone back up again in terms of views. And I was like, today I answered one just asking me how I did like all the different dust and stuff on the board, because I just play on a 2x2. And I already bought it to CrackCon, didn't I? That was me just throwing 3 different types of pigments just randomly at a board. I just mashed it on there and then just sealed it all in. Do that in the summer, by the way. Do that in the summer.
With Dead Man's Hand, I'm all good to go. I've got 3 gangs. But the only thing I'm missing is, remember I went a bit mad and bought all those TT Combat. Buildings. They're all there, and there's that saloon that Sean very kindly sent to me as well. I've yet to build that. That's a foreground one. So I've got 2 that I've made so far. So I really do need to get those out and start playing that.
I was mucking around with the idea of making a new board for Dead Man's Hand and doing like a sort of a more of a mountain wilderness like logging camp with loads of trees, and then having. Have you seen not High Plains Drifter, Pale Rider?
Pale Rider, yeah.
And you've got the logging encampment where so you got ones like wide open area. You've got the saws and everything. I thought that could be quite fun to do just on a 2x2.
Yeah, that'd work quite well. So you just play it on a 2x2 board? Is that it? Is that what you use?
That's all I've ever used is a 2x2, except when I went to Farnborough and we played on a 6x4, and it basically came down to me v Ken and then Dom picking off the survivors.
The sensible way.
Yeah, all I've ever done actually is we've never had a problem with multiplayer games. You would need need a bit more than 2. You need more, but we have never had an issue with a full-size gang on that board because the ranges are so short, are pretty short anyway. The thing I did think about doing was creating an additional 2x2 to put against it, so I had a 4x2 simply for those kind of missions where you're escorting something. But all we did was just reduce the distance it moved a little bit. And it's been fine.
I was thinking of building like a purpose-built board for it. So your 2x2, something I might do in the summer.
some people have done wicked things with actual poker tables and just made it on the poker table.
I can imagine that would look pretty awesome.
Love it.
Right. Right. So, on to tonight's subject. Here, let me just get this back up. It's been annoying me now. So everyone knows who everybody is. There we go.
I don't.
It's important. There we go.
We've got name badges. We've got name badges for the stag do.
Oh God.
Ken's got a special name badge.
I have. I bet it begins with C.
It's multi. No. There's many words.
Or P. I think a P.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that got me onto this subject about social media is a couple of things. We've mentioned it a couple of times. People posting on Twitter and Instagram and our very, very popular Facebook page, and it is popular, and we're getting very, very close to 1,000 members on there now.
Very close.
Yeah,
exactly. We don't take just anyone. We don't take just anyone. It's select.
It is select.
It is when Dom does it.
Yeah, I get notification.
I let someone in today with no questions added.
You are a little bugger. So when they start spamming, I'll come to you, Ken.
It was Ken who let the sex bots in. So
it was, yeah.
So what got me thinking about this was, I know we've mentioned it a couple of times, but I was thinking so I'm going to this tournament on Saturday. And the guy I'm going with, my mate Ian, we met because of the Flames of War forum back in 2004.
That was a great forum. I remember that.
It was
there was loads of info in there.
It was an absolutely
sexy word, forum.
Jesus. It was. The forum still exist. I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, they do. They do exist, but not as
TMP.
TMP
still.
Right.
Don't go there.
But it got me thinking a bit. I wasn't using sort of. It was during the MySpace pages. I can't really remember being a wargaming section on MySpace. I don't think Tom would allow it. So that was really my first sort of introduction into wargaming and social media. Because before then, there wasn't really sort of internet. I can't really think of anything that I was interested in. Where you could post pictures, like Martin said, that the Flames of War forum was fantastic for
the historical information in there was brilliant. Like there was a whole forum that it was fantastic.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they've closed it down now. It's not been operating for a number of years. But that got me thinking and thinking about what people are using these days for their social media. So what was the first ones that you guys used? What would you say was your first introduction into sort of either posting pictures or asking for advice about uniforms or French drummers? Or
I was going to say for wargaming, we're talking here, right?
Yes, for wargaming. Yes.
I was going to say mine would have been Bebo. Jesus.
What's Bebo?
What
you ever heard of Bebo?
No.
Bebo.
It came out roughly the same time as MySpace.
Oh.
It was what the young kids used.
All right, that wasn't me. I guess Facebook was the first thing I posted pictures on, but it was just in a few groups. I didn't post them on my own page. To be fair, I still don't post them on my own personal page, and well, I do occasionally. I would like post. I like we're having a game of Black Powder, and I'd post up a picture of the game in that. And it was only once I sort of grew a little bit more confident because I don't care what people say. People are brutal, and it is a public forum, but it definitely puts people off. You're doing it, so yeah. It was Facebook, and to begin with, that's what I used. I posted my first sort of pictures onto.
Yeah. So
Dom, was yours was Facebook as well? So,
Facebook, mate.
Don, what was yours? What was your first sort of first foray into social media through wargaming?
It was probably Papyrus and.
I was going to say lithographs.
Lithographs. Yeah, no.
10 times.
I thought I'd get that in before anybody else did. No, I actually think. I mean, you don't get so many anymore, but people's blogs. That was the thing that I always used to go. I remember. I mean,
How did you find the blogs though, Dom? How would you find those?
God, do you know what? I can't even remember, Ken. I was never. I mean, most of the information I got when I was starting out the hobby was either via club mates, or people I gamed with, or just going down to the library.
Fucking knew you were going to say that. I was literally about to take the piss. I was literally about to go. I bet you went down the library, didn't you?
Yeah,
to the library.
I used to have every back when I was a kid. I had every Wargaming book out of the library on permanent long release. It was like ridiculous.
Probably have loads of sweaty nerds waiting. When's he going to return this?
I know. So, all those books. So, yeah, so I think it was, but I can't remember how I found blogs. But that was how you did. I mean, people used to post their updates and their blogs of what they were up to, and all the pictures and scenarios were always a great thing. Sort of game ideas and whatnot. So, but yeah, but then it became Facebook. I mean, everything then became Facebook and everything else.
Yeah.
I can't say I've really ever been a big one for forums or stuff, because I just find people such arses on them as a whole.
I was trying to actually think of what forums I've actually been. I mean, I know sometimes you go on them, but you go on there for a certain piece of information and you leave again. You don't really sign up. So the Flames of War one for me, that was definitely one.
Like, I would agree with you that just sort of is that one, because I was on like the Weird Miniatures one, just to get ideas, but the Flames of War one was just like second to none. It really was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was. But I can't really think. There was one, and I can't remember that for the life of me. I can't remember the name of it. It was quite big, but I can't remember it. I remember the name, but it was more sort of 40k focused. They had a subsection on other games, sort of like Ball Hatch and X-Wing, but there was like tumbleweeds, just constantly. Because all it was people posting stuff about 40k, and there was so many arguments. There was just argument after argument. People arguing about lore. I left there and I never went back. It was terrible.
I've said this tends to be why I don't really spend an awful lot of time on many social media platforms, apart from our own good one, is because it seems to descend into stupidity at the drop of a hat, and they just think people can be such arses. I just can't be bothered with it, so I don't bother. But yeah, magazines are the other thing we always used to use. I mean, the good old military modelling or War Games Illustrated or whatever. When that arrived, that was always a huge source of ideas and the latest news that was going on. So yeah, it's old school social media, I guess.
Robin, what is Daka the one that was? Oh no, it wasn't that. It may have been Daka, but there was another one as well. What was the other one? Is it Bolter and Chainsword, where it was just literally power armored chat only?
I think that might have been Bolter and Chainsword.
Yeah, Bolter and Chainsword. It wasn't that. I think it was on there, but I rarely posted. I think I can't remember whether we actually signed up or not. But it's weird that some of them are still going. But Martin mentioned an interesting point before about the fear of posting your own miniatures, your own pictures on social media. It's even now that I've been posting sort of regularly since getting back into the hobby in 2014. It's still terrifying. It's still nerve-wracking because you never know what people's responses are going to be
next.
Exactly.
I think it gets easier because. I mean, there's a lot of things that social media has done that isn't great, and but if when you have places like or spaces like the PCP or other groups as well, like Storm of Steel and the Archers page and all of them, that you're like-minded people and that you can post, and that anything you get generally is constructive criticism, and you're among friends, and I think the thing is as well, if you've got something that accompanies it, such as a podcast, and the people get to know you and stuff like that, it becomes a lot better than just blindly posting into say a World War II forum, for example.
I
remember, I'll never forget when Ken angered that Napoleonic reenactment.
Oh, I fucking love.
He was foaming at the mouth, sending pictures of
I'm
himself.
from the Canadian Society of the World Napoleonics, and I'm telling you, they never did that.
Yeah, but the great thing was that Ken posted. It was like 170 replies. I was out for my daughter's birthday, and I was checking that thread more than I was paying attention to my daughter because it was just so funny. Because well, you round them up, but then you stopped, and then it just carried on because these other people were coming in going, on your reenactment outfit, I think your breastplate is the 1809 variant. You're doing it, and he was foaming at the mouth. It was hilarious. So he got close.
He got really annoyed when I called him Bill, didn't he? I just kept calling him Bill.
Oh no, not that one. I'm not on about him. I'm on about that very first one. I'm on about the first one.
Okay.
Not the ones that you purposefully like wound up and then like threw a hand
you did get into a habit of going onto forums and just chucking hand grenades in, didn't you? Just to get the effect.
It was quite funny. It was
quite funny.
But I think, but my point, it was quite. When you're in that kind of space, I think you can post it. Now the thing is, as well, is we all do YouTube, and if you're going to be putting videos out, posting up the photos to me now doesn't seem as daunting because I put a bloody video. I put a bloody video of them out now. So
I don't know though, dude, because you can really go to detail with pictures, though, can't you? Sometimes you can really have a good look.
Yeah, but
the videos a glance.
That's true, but then you're still leaving yourself that you're still, you posted a video, you might as well just post the things up.
Yeah.
What I mean is I think you just find it gets a little bit easier to.
No, it does. It does. I mean, still for me, I still find it mildly terrifying hitting that publish button.
What about when you start talking about history?
Oh, I don't know that.
That gets sketchy.
That is scary. Yes,
that's the bit that gets a bit scary to me because even when you've done your research and you've looked it up and you caveat by saying this is what I've read and this is what I still, I did history as a degree. I know it's not accurate. None of this stuff, it's just not. So somebody's going to come back and challenge you. Of course they are.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, history is definitely a thing because obviously a lot of history is open to interpretation anyway. But what's frustrating is when you know a subject and you post it up and then someone just for the sake of it challenges you. And you haven't said anything particularly controversial, like I know I've sent you guys the messages.
Parliament wear red sashes. Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you?
Or the one. Do you remember the one that I had with the flags in the livery?
Yes.
In the livery.
Yes. Oh yes.
But the thing that was the bigger that it does it. And the thing that wound me up more than anything is he was right. Like I was like, here is the
evidence.
The evidence. Here is the flag from the College of Arms. That shows you what it was like. No, oh jeez. It was after that point that I stopped kind of caring if people disagreed with the history. I mean, obviously, everyone. It's always good just to get a bit of perspective on things, and other ways of interpreting things is always really, really helpful. But of course, a lot of it's down to delivery, and again, blind posting into forums you don't know, and you see this in YouTube quite a bit because. I post my videos and my content in groups that I feel are relevant to the content that I've got. So I don't just spam it across lots of groups. So I'll put it in, if it's a Black Powder game, I'll just put it in the Black Powder group and on the PCP, and then maybe in like maybe Storm Steel or like Yorkshire, because we all seem to like post in each other's groups anyway, which is great because we can all spread it about a bit like a virus. And but when I did do it once, and I'm sure we've all done it. I just thought, there's a Black Powder group. I'll join it and post my video as my first post.
Yeah,
and then you just get slaughtered.
Yeah,
I think for me though, I think social media has sort of opened up. For me, it's like instantaneous. If I need a piece of information, I know that within a couple of minutes of just going onto a forum or a Facebook group or something, YouTube, I'm gonna 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have the information that I need. And I think for me, that's the positive to it. I think a social media platform is only as good as the people that use it. For me, it's the people there, their mindset, their approach, their perspective.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I love about our Facebook group is that people post up a wide array of different, periods, conflicts, rule systems. I mean, you've got people posting French, you've got BattleTech, you've got Turn at 28, and there's no gatekeeping. There's no sort of thumb in your nose at other people's. I'm not interested in that, so I'm not going. There's just such that wide, and I think that's wargaming and social media working perfectly.
This is, and Alex is just hit on the head here. He said, looking at his analytics, less than 4% of his views on YouTube came from external sources. His spamming doesn't work anyway. It's exactly my point. I went and put him in a load of videos, and all I got was grief, and I didn't actually get any more views. All I got was loads of dickheads having a go, and you're just like, right, okay, this isn't worth the grief that I'm getting here. No. So I have started using Instagram more.
Yes,
I just use that mainly for, like, I don't, just mainly work like a work in progress shot once a week, or a, maybe just, so we just hit 150 free viewers. That's one more than our maximum. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But obviously you see, the shots that I share on the community, where I do some editing and that. I share those on Instagram. And they do, and I've met some really cool people on Instagram. With some really good chats, and I'm starting to understand Instagram a little bit more, because I didn't understand it at all when I started it. It took me so long to figure out. Yeah, I still don't really understand it. I still think it's down to putting down the right hashtags, and I'm not convinced. I went on Steez and just copied Steez hashtags for a bunch of things.
I've done that as well.
Yeah, but it'd be great, because I was posting up, so I stole Steve's hashtags, and then I posted up a picture of the Earl of Warwick, and then it would be like appearing in like World War II London, whatever, like I love field grey. Look at all this colour on this. On this.
That's the thing that Instagram. I took a break from Instagram for about 2 months, because I don't know. I tend to spend more time on Twitter these days than Instagram.
You do love a bit of Twitter, don't you?
I can.
It's because I
hate Twitter.
Jeez. The wargaming community on Twitter, I'm not joking, it's fantastic, and I've had some great conversations with people on there. Everyone's really keen and really funny, and it is a nice sort of night. Like, we've got our PCB Facebook group, which is detached largely from a lot of Facebook groups, and it's a positive place. The wargaming community on Twitter, well, at least the ones that I'm part of anyway, it's very, very, it's nice. I don't mind. I mean, when I first joined Twitter, it was during lockdown 3 years ago, and it was terrifying, because you go on there and you just see reams of posts and pictures, and I was a bit overwhelmed by it to start off with.
So what does Twitter give you that Instagram or Facebook doesn't? I'm genuinely interested, because I don't really.
So I mean, you can post links on Twitter. You can't really post links on Instagram. You can post the URL, but it won't take.
Click at your.
It won't take you there. I tend to reach a larger audience with Twitter, and
but do they follow to your videos from there?
A couple do, yeah. I mean, I post my videos on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to find that. See, here we go. Look, Andy, wargaming Twitter's fab. Regular Twitter's a dumpster fire. Sean, agree. The wargaming corner, it's great. One good thing I found out about Twitter was that I found out I was blocked by O.J. Simpson on Twitter.
That's crap.
Were you on the jury?
No, I've sometimes.
Well,
so
the jury.
My Twitter feed is basically wargaming. But occasionally you'll get a random story, someone's retweeted it, and I accidentally clicked on a story about O.J. Simpson, and I clicked onto his Twitter profile, and it said I was blocked. But no, I do. I'm not a prolific user. I mean, I'll go on there. I mean, if I'm having a break at work, I have a cup of coffee, I'll normally scroll through sort of the updates. But I'm not a great sort of user of it. I'll post update pictures on there. I'll post videos, anything like that. More. For me, it's more the project update, but it goes to a lot of people. In fact, when I did those old group markers on Saturday, Nick from Two Fat Lardies liked them and he retweeted them. So, which is nice.
Doing social media is a way of nicely getting in touch with the people that are making the games, especially when you're looking at the smaller companies, the bigger companies as well. Warlord have shared all stuff that we've all done, I think, and that's nice. But can I just share it because before we lose it in the chat, because I think Paul brings up a really good point. He said, I think social media is great, but I do wonder if it encourages people to involved in the hobby through battle reports rather than actually jumping in themselves, sort of wargaming by proxy. Yeah. It's an interesting thought.
No, it is. Yes, it's like having a hobby vicariously through the community. So you could spend your entire hobby watching people's battle reports, watching people's project updates, painting tutorials, and that could be your hobby. That could be your
I do get some comments like that on some of my battle reports. People who say just they don't battle, they don't play toys at all. But they like watching them. So yeah, I think that is a thing, isn't it? Very much a thing.
I think a lot of that will be how open and friendly people are in their games, and if you're taking the time to explain things, because there are battle reports out there. I can't say that anyone in our community has done them, but for certain other games of a more science fiction nature, where they're just very, and I guess it's because they're very tournament heavy. It's just dry. It's almost like the information has been driven into your face, and then the video's over, and it's like there was no banter, there was no sort of fun behind it. That's not to say they're all like that. They're certainly not. I've seen some. I've watched some 40k battle reports. There's some great Infinity ones where they've really got nice narratives and they take the time to explain. And I guess any game could be like that, but obviously there is a far greater portion dedicated to fantasy and sci-fi because fantasy and sci-fi sell. And I can, so I can't remember what my original point was.
I was going to say, lean on for that. Do you know esports? They have commentators and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You can watch it live and there's commentators. Imagine if they did that with battle reports.
Well, X-Wing.
An X-Wing tournament. You could watch an X-Wing tournament live and there's that commentator.
Yeah, they do. Who was it? Yeah, there was years ago. I used to spend hours watching X-Wing tournaments, and you've got the flat down view of the table. You've got commentators who are normally quite good at the game. I've watched Magic the Gathering tournaments. No, honestly, I've even Netrunner.
That appeals to me just to watch for like.
But no, that was I used to when I was really heavily into X-Wing, and I used to just live and breathe it every day.
Followed the meta, as it's called.
I was very much following the meta, as the cool kids say. But no, I used to love watching tournaments and seeing people's lists and listening to the commentators, and it was a really good way of immersing yourself into X-Wing.
Texane says he watches many battle reports for many periods of no intention of collecting. Enjoy exploring the other parts of the hobby without the cost and the painting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I can watch some periods battles that I think I would never play them, but they just look really cool.
What I love is sometimes you just so I watch a lot. I watch the majority of my YouTube on my Xbox and a telly, and it's really good when in your recommendations a channel comes up that you've never heard of before. And they could be gaming a conflict that you've never seen played. That's how I got into watching the Joy of Wargaming channel. So I was thinking about getting into Xenos Rampant, and so just put Xenos Rampant, and his videos came up, and I binged them. I watched them all, and I watch any Xenos Rampant games that he does these days. So again, from a social media perspective.
Probably true.
So again, it through social media, whether it's YouTube or being recommended something on Instagram or seeing someone like or comment on a Twitter post, it's very much access to channels and people and things that you wouldn't normally ever get into. I mean, if you stay like there's some you're staying on there's certain Facebook groups just dedicated to bolt action, just dedicated to black powder, but it's the other ones that you stumble across accidentally, and you got to think how many. No, sometimes you think how many stars are there out in the galaxy. I reckon there's like an infinite number of YouTube videos, channels, blogs, forums, Facebook groups. There must be hundreds and thousands of that you just don't come across.
It is a genuine joy, isn't it, when you find a channel of somebody that you've never seen before doing a battle, even a battle report of something you've played many times yourself, and they just do a really good job with it.
Yeah,
and you just think, why haven't I seen this before?
Yeah.
I know.
It's just fantastic.
Or hobby updates, like
hobby updates. Yeah,
Fraser. I binged all of Fraser's VKs. Oh Jesus! I went back to the beginning. I just liked how his platform was with it, and I liked to see his progress, and I just liked his enthusiasm for him and the amount of time there was for the video, and so I just watched them all from the beginning.
Has anybody ever picked up a completely new game / period just on the basis of social media? Nobody else you knew playing it?
For me, we'd play Xenos Rampant. I saw people have been talking about it because I knew about the Rampant series of games. I know VK's done several videos about Lion Rampant, and then people were talking about Dragon Rampant, and then somebody mentioned Xenos Rampant. I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna do a bit of a search. That's how I found out about the Joy of Wargaming Soloware, and I just saw the rules, and his enthusiasm for the game really sold it to me. That was what I thought. I really want to get involved in this game. It's fast. It appears to be really fun and quite easy to get into. But again, it's finding those channels and then seeing what they're up to, and the project updates, painting updates, battle reports. It's just really, really good.
Mine was Warhammer Fantasy, so I never thought about playing it, and it was just Stuart started talking about it a bit, and I started doing it through his videos on YouTube, and then I've looked and I've found other channels that do battle reports, and there's a couple of Australian guys that are really, really good at explaining do wicked narrative play games. Yes, because of you bastards. Cheers, mate.
We aim to please.
Yes. So yeah, fantasy and also Battlefleet Gothic as well, because none of you play that, do you?
No.
Oh, I did when it came out, but that was ages ago.
But no, I think it's something that prior to 2016, I was on no social media. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't use Instagram or Twitter. I occasionally went to the odd forum, but I didn't really post a lot. And it wasn't until I discovered Tabletop Battle, the Norwegian chaps. They really got me back into the hobby. And for a while, I was a patron. So I joined Facebook for that, and then I started slowly sort of posting more pictures in there. I didn't, even though I was using Facebook, I didn't add people as friends at the time. I think I had one friend at the time. So it took me a while to sort of ease into using Facebook from a wargaming perspective. But now, if somebody had said to me, "Oh, by the way, Steve, in 2016, in 2015, in 8 years' time, you'll be on all kinds of social media," I'd have been like, "Nah, I'm not having that," because it didn't appeal to me. And maybe it was just me being a bit of a stubborn Luddite.
What happened to those mad Norwegian buggers? They were hilarious. I loved those videos.
Yeah, they. I know that Martin and Svein have set up their own company. Damon, he moved quite far away.
I know his daughter wasn't very well, was she? I think I remember.
He left the group because he was moving, quite a fair distance. And Anders was doing some kind of, I think he was doing like some kind of Mad Masters qualification, so he wasn't really involved. But I know that Svein and Martin were they developed their own. I think it's a car. Remember 148 Tactic, the
yes.
World War II game.
Yeah.
I think they developed a fantasy version.
Because they were really big into that too, weren't they?
They were. But
I thought their bolt action games were some of the best things you ever see on YouTube. They were so funny.
I remember when I first found their channel, I binge watched all their bat reps.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good mix of entertainment and actual game theory as well.
Yeah.
And they did put a lot of effort into the scenarios they were playing. I just remember Damon's dice rolling was always like godlike. He never rolled badly at all.
No.
But yeah, they were good. And I definitely credit those guys for sort of inspiring me to get involved in YouTube. So there was them, Travis at Tabletop CP, Ken the Eccentric Man. Again, a big inspiration in getting me into sort of being more proactive in the community. I think social media definitely lends itself to that.
Yeah. Do you find that you only use social media now to do wargaming stuff? It's like Facebook now.
Yes.
I only use it for wargaming. I don't use it for anything else.
Pretty much.
No, my Twitter is, I don't use it for personal stuff. It's just wargaming content. Same
here. I mean, my personal Facebook page very, very rarely gets anything put on it, and then it is mostly wargaming or me following bands. That's it. I follow lots of different bands.
I literally thought you said badgers for a second. I don't know why.
Did I tell you that a badger moved onto my
it makes me so
right. A badger's moved on, not onto the bit where we're working, but on the other end. But I've also got some very, very dedicated locals who are spring watching, and essentially they're now security for my site because they're there like at night. But which is great. Not so great for the person that wants to develop the site. But awesome for our point of view. But absolutely. No, he gets it. He gets it. He understands. No, I did say.
I love badgers, man. I love badgers.
No, I it's mostly just wargaming. It is. If you scroll through like mine, it'd just be pictures. It's just pictures and pictures.
Wargaming and trains for me.
I know with my own personal Facebook, it's just weird beers, films, and really creepy vintage toys.
I don't even do that.
Pretty much.
I do have music on there because I find it very, very hard to keep up with bands, and bands just generally put on there when they're releasing new stuff. So that's when I generally find out. Like that thing I messaged you the other day, Steve. I only found out about that because
that was horrific stuff. Absolutely horrific stuff.
The story, I know. Oh God, I forgot. I filled you in on 2 years worth of history you didn't know about.
No, I didn't know about. I was sat there. What was I? I was sat there tucking into a big tub of olives, trying to digest.
Right. Two sets. I did not expect you to say olives in the slightest. If I could have chosen anything for you to say, olives would have been the last thing. I'd have thought you were going to say a big tub of sweets or something like that. Olives.
No, olives. I absolutely love olives.
It's a man of sophistication.
He's a sophisticated guy.
I mean, look at Krakow there. We were in Wetherspoons. Paul was shocked that I ordered salad.
You got olives and Vimto. They're two things I would not have thought would have gone well together.
No, and then I freaked Dom out by eating a plate full of gherkins in front of him.
Yeah, that was frigging weird. That was.
Oh, don't! I did it the other day. What did I have? I had fish finger. This is how weird my diet's gone, right? Fish fingers and beans, But then I got a jar of pickles, gherkins out, and I ate the whole jar.
I
found out they were like. I love gherkins. I found out they were like 3 calories each. I was like,
gherkins.
I
put the other week I had chili. I topped it with sour cream, grated cheese and gherkins, and it was just
so.
The stream has gone in a really weird direction.
Someone who I used to employ used to in the office they'd have like tinned pilchards, like that. And he'd be like it, but they then put them in a pre-buttered peanut butter sandwich.
That is. I mean, everyone knows I'm a very keen eater of peanut butter, but not even I.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
right. Which combined
jam. Yeah.
I remember where I used to work. Some guy we had a room downstairs where everyone used to eat, and he once did fish soup in the microwave. Oh, that was a mistake.
You don't do that at work. You don't do that at work.
Yes, Ken. Yeah, absolutely, James. Ken and his 300 onion rings that he ordered.
They were so
good. Why? Because he was pissed off his head on 2 beers. And then Laura rang him, and he blamed me. I just like to point out because I happened to be sitting next to him at that exact moment in time.
How many onion rings did I have? I had 6 coming to the meal.
No, you had 24. You had 24, but they were like that. They were massive.
But they were good, and I ate them all. Oh, that brings back good memories.
I think that's a good time to do.
I think that's a good time for the. Are we doing the announcement or are we doing the news?
Onion ring gate.
Should we do the news?
Let's do the news.
Let's do the news.
Just torture them a bit longer. They will know what it's going to be.
Yeah, of course they do.
Very, very ominous music. That still mildly scares me. Right, who's got news?
I have news, and I'm going to go first because I've seen how many news items Dom has. So,
well, only because Andy Hobday sent me a load, so that's his.
So, yes, I shall go first if I can. I haven't done the OPC. Crap. I meant to do that at the beginning. No. Completely forgot.
You better do the news than the OPC.
Yeah, then we'll do that afterwards. I'll blame Ken. It was Ken's fault. He didn't get the Vinto. Everything was on track. Okay, so I've seen various things. For those of you who like your Star Wars Legion and who like the Clone Wars in particular, and Star Wars Episode 3, they've released Commander Cody, which people seem to have been crying out for, which is some very nice models. There's lots and lots of alternative poses and cards and snack cards and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to ask a really stupid question. What's the difference between him and another commander figure that you can just paint orange cuffs on?
The model's completely different.
Is it? Why are the clone troopers different?
Because they've got different loadouts. That's it. They've just got different loadouts, like different guns and different things. Plus, he's got genuinely, it's like that little visor across his head, I think, pretty much. But the thing is remember, when you buy this set, you're buying his rules. You're getting his rules.
Oh, okay, yes.
And his tokens, because you get the tokens and the Pope, everything in there. So he's out. Then next up, I saw these, which are going to be released by Footsore, and this is part of their Harrowhurst stuff, and just some classic looking trolls. I thought looked really cool, and I'm really sorry. I need to find the name of the sculptor. I've forgotten the name.
Well, old school.
I'll try and find it, but that's part of their Harrowhurst line that Footsore are doing. A bit of GW just for those people who don't want to see
more money than
but this set's coming out, which is the new 40k set, which is the Wrath of the Soulforge King, which is Dark Angels versus whatever the hell that thing is.
What is that?
That's some new big demon thing. It's part of the Arcs of Omen thing that they're doing at the minute, like this big campaign that a lot of my friends are playing and seem to be enjoying because it's all a big narrative campaign. So there's a lot of people that are enjoying it.
Has Angron been released yet?
He's out now. Yeah, he's out now. Yeah, he was out last book. There's like another book. They're basically gearing up for the next Primarch release, which everyone's saying will be the Dark Angel Primarch.
Not Lionel Johnson. It's got to be Dawn with one hand.
No, it'll be the Lion is the next one, because in this book here. So this is book 3, and Chaos have invaded the Rock. The next book is about something to do with the Tau, and then the final one they're keeping secret. But I'm going to move on before Dom has some kind of aneurysm. Next up, Medbury Miniatures have got some more releases. Dom, do you want a Douglas?
Oh, I like a Douglas.
I mean, did he go to Ireland with Bruce?
No, he did. No, I don't think he did actually.
But you could use him as another Lord.
I don't care. That's brilliant.
But so there he is.
I have to say, I'm serious. The Medbury miniatures are absolutely amazing. They are superb.
I haven't had the pleasure yet. I will need to
go for them
to do some. And then that's their whole set of historical mounted men at arms that they're releasing this month. As well,
they do a really clever subscription model, so you get your STLs because it is 3D printing. Drink everyone, they do a historical one and they do a fantasy one. So if you're weird, you can have the one and you can have the other.
Don't worry, Alex. We could do the final 35 minutes of the stream if you like on it. We could do 40k for 35 minutes. Absolutely. Let's get talking. Let's get going on the lore. I'm sure we
go on,
can.
Let's even go one step up. Let's talk about fantasy.
And then, was that the last? I think that was actually the last. Yes, that was the last thing I had. Other than, which I'll post up now so I don't forget, is, of course, here is your menu for March's Crack podcast. So, of course, today, because you managed to find us, congratulations. We're on Point HQ with our Wargaming and social media chat. Next week, we're over with Ken at Miniature Wargaming Warriors. I'll have travelled back from Sweden from the stag do the day before this. I'm in Sweden for less than 36 hours as well. I'm going to be shattered. Fantasy Wargaming and what is your system of choice? 20th, I've got it. And a bit of a shout to Robin for helping me with the topic, which was scenery, more or less important than figures. And then finally, big shout out to Dom because he's going to get the guest. And we have Paul Hicks returning, and we're on Dom's channel on the last Monday.
He's going to be talking about the Arnhem Kickstarter.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
We've got something. So that nicely leads us into Dom's news.
So for me, we have so Andy Hobday sent a whole load of pictures for their new Kickstarter that's starting on the 15th of March, which is the Gangs of Rome version 2 set.
I'm very excited
which is this thing. So I think it's 15th of March until something like the 15th of April, something like that. It's about a month or so. You can, if you're on Kickstarter, you can go and
it's in a few days. It's 15th of March.
15th of March, yeah. No, you can go on there and get advance notification of it, I think, now. Yep. But he sent a few pictures of some of the models, and they do look good. They look really good. So,
these are the Roman, essentially the police.
They're the police force, basically.
So they're not actually players. So one of the cool things about Gangs of Rome is the way you could interact with you bought non-player characters to scatter across the table that you could run up to a healer and you'd roll a dice, and on a 1 he'd just kill you in the effort of healing you. And these are there. So what they do, you had mobs that moved around the board, and if too many mobs get in one place, then the police come along with their batons essentially to
break it up.
To go in.
So there's the commander for said police.
Yeah, so I can't remember what they're called. Inculi. Essentially, he's on the board, and you can move up to him to interact with him, or he will have set circumstances by which he will start to interact with you, which is quite cool.
Do you know what he should be saying? Do you know what he should be saying? The Romans, they go the house.
And there's some guys with lanterns and clubs to keep order. What else we got? Some more police.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of police.
They're very cool.
I love these. These are actors, lovely, with their masks on.
That one on the left is horrifying. Actually, to be fair, they're all quite scary.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they're good.
They're just brilliant, aren't they? And then I like this figure as well. This is a veteran fighter. He looks like a grizzled veteran also, doesn't he? He's just pulled out.
Isn't he?
He's got a scar running down his face. He's pulled his sword out the scabbard and he's about to have it away. And leper.
I love that one. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but I think that's it. Yeah. So again, he's just going to be on the streets. I don't think it's going to be a case of move near him, catch leprosy. I think that'd be a bit harsh.
That would be a bit tricky.
But I think he will have certain effects. So a lot of these figures are just add flavour into each of the games.
And that's a puppeteer, I believe.
That's scary.
Yeah,
that is really scary.
That is very, very worrying in a big way. And then the rule book, which is you've played the first version. I've never played it, but I believe it's added in quite a couple of new metrics and the ways that it runs. So
I view Gangs of Rome very similar to how I view Dead Man's Hand.
Mm-hmm.
I like now I've played a lot more Dead Man's Hand than I had Gangs of Rome, simply because Dead Man's Hand needed less scenery. But it's very much the same kind of thing. Small gangs on the board, club night game, 2-3 games in an evening, string them together to make a little campaign. And the mechanics are really cool. And there was a nice little card, like hand of cards you could play. A bit like Dead Man's Hand. So someone in a fight, you'd play that and you'd throw dust into their eye all of a sudden, and then you would have the initiative. And it's a really good fun game. Quite frankly, there was just a few mechanics that just needed some work, but it sounds like they've.
I think they've tightened them up by the sound of it.
Yeah,
lovely.
It's one I'm really looking forward to.
Lovely reference, Roger. Well done, mate. That's really good. Yeah, absolutely. So what else we got? I tell you, both of my people who cause me most problems in the world, the Perrys and the guy at Piano, have both given us insight into what they're working on. So Piano posted this, which is his next. He's only just finishing the current Kickstarter that he's done. His next one's going to be 1809 Danube campaign. So that's the start of some of the French units he's working on, which will be amazing because Piano stuff is just superb. And then the Perrys, just to sort of rub it in, have come out with, which I really like the idea of this. So the Prussian and Russian cavalry boxes that they did, that you could make them dragoons for either nation, or you could make them Jaegers for either nation. They're now doing a sprue that you can turn them into Ulan, which I think is amazing. So you just get the basically the lance arms and heads. They go on the same bodies to turn them into lancers, which I think is cool. Really cool idea. I like the idea of that. That's really, really good. Shame I got loads of lancers already. But anyway, and these are going to happen at some point in my life. These are the Great Escape Norwegians.
Yes, I saw that.
So this is their sniper team, anti-tank gun, and pioneer group, which just look amazing.
I'm going to cave in one day or one of those Great Escape army bundles. They do. I know they do Greeks, Hungarians. They do Hungarians. They do. But those Norwegian ones, yes, very.
They look amazing, don't they?
They look very good, very nice.
So that's it.
I've got one piece of news. It was actually sent to me by Andy Shaw, so thanks Andy for sending this to me. I keep seeing this popping up in the Bolt Action Facebook group, and it's this here Kickstarter.
Oh
yes, from the Sons of Yamato, and it's Imperial Japanese Army, and I think that they're metal, but they are so good. They just look really, really nice. My mate's got like a 1 million point Japanese army, and I keep annoying him by sending him pictures of these because he doesn't want to spend any more money on his Japanese army. But yeah, Andy said that to me. I keep seeing them being updated in the Bolt Action Facebook group. But if you're looking for some really nice Japanese miniatures, so they're called the Sons of Yamato. It's the Kickstarter.
They do look very, very good.
They do. Before we move on to the OPC, don't forget we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies.
Yeah.
So when check out the website, if there's something you want and it's not in stock, get in contact with Ian and the guys there, and they will sort you out with whatever you need. But on top of that, look at that lovely code PCP5 when you check out. It's an additional 5% off your order, and that's in addition to the already healthy and generous discount that Ian puts on all his products.
And that works on pre-orders as well.
It does. I don't know what pre-order you're referring to there, Ken, but you know. But yeah, so again, big thanks to Ian and everyone at Boards and Swords for kindly sponsoring the podcast.
And if you need anything, he'll sort you out.
He'll sort you out.
Awesome.
Right, Martin, do you want to deal with the OCP?
Yeah, I can. Hang on. Oh, that Varangian guard just needed his tunic finishing. Right. So, of course, in addition to everything else that goes on in the Facebook, the guys who run the OPC each month have sent me the entries for the online painting challenge 13. So that's it. 13 of these things.
13, blimey.
It's crazy. Now, hopefully, StreamYard hasn't done that thing where it deletes photos for no apparent reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's it. Right. So the theme for this one was flying. So just any kind of flying warrior or flying miniature. So the first one up here, we have Lee, who has done a
Hold on.
epic
Grav tank.
40k, the original epic
Oh.
grav tank. Yep, the very, very first epic.
Oh, the memories of being shot when they used to hover above buildings, shoot you in the face, and then drop back down again. The swines.
I bought some magnetic flight stands for those. They work really well. They look really cool.
That is very cool. Next up, we have Matt, who has done his.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
that's very, very cool. Yeah. I really like that.
That is lovely.
Nice. That is nice.
That is really, really cool. Paul has done his Daka Death Copter.
Oh, this sounds good. That's fucking class.
My lord.
Daka. I hope that's kit bash.
That is awesome.
That is
that is just so orky. It's
so
unbelievable.
Good.
That's what I like. See, that's what I want to see. An orc. So Stephen has done. Now let me just get this right. Rodrigan Gyro Bomber.
Dwarfs.
Oh my God. I get visions of Lady Penelope for that. I don't know what. Oh no, Penelope Pitstop. Sorry, wrong one.
Oh, Penelope Pit. Oh yeah.
It's that colour, isn't it?
Absolutely, that is awesome. That is very cool.
She was the same
and then Tony has done a Demon on the Hop.
Oh wow!
That is a power stance if ever I've seen one. I mean, that is cool. A lot of use of slate in these ones as well. I like.
Yes.
Very cool. And then finally, Warren, because it's Warren, has done another dwarf flying machine.
Hey! Oh, that's quite cool. I like that.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I like that.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. But lovely stuff. Okay, guys. So thank you as always for posting those up. As always, the online painting challenge. There's no sort of price. It's just a way to get involved in a little group build for the month, and also to get maybe some of those. Yeah, get some of those unpainted figures in the pile of shame. We've all got those purchases when we've been to Salute or something to go in there. Next month is renovation. Find an old model, strip it, and repaint it. Not Dom. And post
if anybody wants to come, no, we won't go there. No.
Oh, to be fair, it is Ken Stagg. Strip it, repaint it, post before and after shots. Okay.
How long? When is that? How long have we got to go?
Before what?
My stag. 4 weeks, is it? About that, isn't it?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take. Should we give him the other bit of news?
Yes.
Nah, if I can make them next week.
Everyone that's stuck around, here's the announcement you've all been waiting for.
What is it? Oh, I don't know.
CrackCon 4.
Crackalackalicious.
No, we're not having.
It's not what it's called.
That is not what it's called.
No.
Aren't you glad that weird? Fortunately, we have the separate chat group that Ken isn't in.
Yes, for the best, really.
So, and he thinks we're joking as well, which is the funny thing.
I don't.
So, CrackCon 4 will be at our usual home of Boards and Swords in Derby on the 21st of October. This year, 2023.
I can't believe we're doing it for the 4th time.
I know, not me.
No, I know. It's and to be fair, we probably would have done it earlier, but someone was really selfish and had a wedding.
Yeah.
So I've only waited 14 years to get married.
Yeah, it was you that was waiting. Definitely you that was waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I don't think we've got any real announcements about games that are being put on, do we?
I think what we need now is for people who are interested in putting on games to let us know.
I know what Miller wants to do,
and we can start to compile a list of games. And
that's it. So, but remember that this time, both Steve and Ken are going to be putting on hosting games this time. Is what we said, wasn't it? Yeah. Ken, what was it? Bolter Action. That's what you were going to do, wasn't it?
Yes.
Me and Martin are going to play games, aren't we, mate?
We're going to play games.
Actually, do you know what? I could do a little scenario of Bolter Action because I've got orcs and I've got fucking Space Marines. So, yeah.
There you go.
I'm provisionally going to be running games of Space Weirdos.
Well, why not? The thing is, as well, someone driving from Denmark to Derby, crack on with space for a ton of miniatures. Can we fly? We could have a GoFundMe just to.
Just to get that army into Crackon. That'd be hilarious.
The tickets will go on sale. Not yet. Probably
not yet. There'll be another couple of months probably before we get the tickets up for sale. But mark it in your calendar, and it
is happening.
It is definitely happening. 21st of October. Usual shenanigans. We'll probably all meet up on the Friday night, do the gaming Saturday, and then survive the Saturday night if we really want. We didn't even go to Derby last year, did we? Properly. Anyway.
Well, last time, no, because Hayley was like, no. Hayley had the plan was that if she filled everybody up with food, there wouldn't be as many casualties, and there wasn't. Although Steph and Jill did still, they represented and went into the Tiger Bar in Derby, but but that being said, so we'll look at numbers again if people want to do things like curry in that. I've got, to be fair, on top of that, there is my part of the game. But yeah, if you are interested, let us know. I'm not going to put up table booking or anything just yet. We want to get an idea. Just seen someone saying, is there are we actually going to do the Crete thing? Maybe, unless someone else wants to take it on. Steph has just booked the hotel.
Dedication.
So we'll sort out all the tickets and what have you closer to. But
yes, but just pop it in your diaries, book get your days booked off. It's happening. It's going ahead, and everyone's looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And so we'll go from there, and we'll keep you guys updated.
Yes, brilliant. Should we have a look at some viewers' photographs?
Oh yes, please.
Let's have a look. Right. So the first two I can't show because we've already seen them because I didn't check that they were OCP. Come on, I was half asleep. Right. So first up is this from Miller. Yay!
Ooh, those
some
are
of
epic looking.
Epic ECW. I think they look excellent. I just love the way they. I know he's put finished ones up with flags and stuff on, but I grabbed these. But just to show you the angled pikes. Martin, do you approve of his basing?
I do. Don't worry. There's been messages. There's been messages. No, I absolutely approve of his basing, and I encourage more people to do the same. Everything.
I can imagine sort of after April when everyone's got theirs, that the Facebook group is going to be absolutely deluged with people's epic ECW stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be quite good. Up next is from Martin. Some French Napoleonics. Nice. Look at those.
Oh, lovely. Very nice.
I couldn't paint that amount of white. It would end me. It really would.
Look
at the drummer. Look at the drummer.
Oh yeah, there is some detail on that. He's wooing.
That's me. Just turning my phone down. Sorry.
That's all right. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what?
Who's my phone? My woo phone.
Yeah, they are really rather nice.
Not quick enough.
Another update from Dan on his English Civil War. So he's been doing a storming party.
Oh, very nice. I recognise those figures.
So do I.
Yeah, we all do.
Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
Do you know my favourite one is that guy second from the left? Looks like an English Civil War version of Ned Kelly.
He essentially was, because are they the guys who are hanging out near the cannons? That's essentially what Robin would be if he was ever in the Civil War. That is what that armor is for him.
I still think they're lovely miniatures. A really good colour scheme he's got going on with these as well. I always look forward to seeing Dan's updates on his English Civil War. Really, really good. Some more Napoleonics from Corey. French artillery.
Oof. Lovely.
I can't really comment on them because I've got no idea about any of this.
I can't tell you what they are, but they are. I can't tell you what regiment they are, but they are very nice.
They're very good indeed.
They're very
medals,
nice,
aren't they?
Lovely
Yeah,
work.
very
Perry's.
nice.
Are they Perry's?
Are they Perry's?
No, actually, no. Tell a lie, they're
No,
not.
I think they might be front rank, maybe.
Yeah. Oh no, they're a bit too chunky for Perry's, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not Perry's.
I didn't think they were like Perry's. Still very, very nice though. So you couldn't get any more far removed from Napoleonics with the next one. These are from John, who's been painting Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah.
That is yeah. he's definitely gone for the classic cartoon look there. He's got that, to me, he's got that blue and green absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
Just
Judge Dredd.
really does emulate the comic books. Great work, John. Really great work.
Lovely.
Up next, we've got Jonathan with a bit of 1/48 scale for bolt action. You don't see this very often. But these are brilliant. 1/48 scale US.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, very nice.
They are different, aren't they?
They're lovely. I know some people use 1/48 vehicles for bolt action because they're a bit bigger than the Warlord Italeri ones. But I never thought of using 1/48 scale. That's something that I might have to look into because I imagine that'd be
the weapons look really cool, don't they? They look really cool.
Yeah,
not chunky.
No, I think with this scale they're a lot more sort of lifelike and proportioned. But they're brilliant. They are really, really good. Up next is Kerry with some Italian Wars gendarmes. Now they're colourful.
Wow.
They are really colourful.
I like them.
Wow.
They are
Good flags, nice flags. It just all looks really, really nice.
It does.
Oh my god, everyone's booking the fucking travel lodge. Is that why the price is going up?
Nobody's paying attention to it because they've all booked the
21st of October. Yeah, fucking hell.
They are lovely. Really, really nice work there. We have more epic ECW this time from Stu at Miniature Realms. Look at them.
Oh, good, isn't it?
Lovely. Yeah. Very, very nice.
They are nice, aren't they? They are. I don't know what it is. I mean, you've got the ACW, the Napoleonics, and so you got ACW, ECW, and Napoleonics. And for me, the Napoleonics ones are the. I mean, I've tried to paint them and didn't like them, but I love painting the ACW ones because there's a slight difference. Now, even with these, they each one looks a bit different.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I know what you're saying, and yeah, compared to like the Napoleonics and the thing, but if you look at the sprue as well, I just seen on Miller's review, they are all different heads. There's not really, do you know what I mean? They're not sent. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not rigid in their posing either. So
no,
pikes that are off a little bit, and pikes that are straight, and so they're not exactly regimental, the same monopose figure, are they? That's
what I found with the Napoleonic ones. I mean, I bought a box just to, I don't like being defeated by miniatures. I thought I'd give them a go, but didn't get along with them. There were two.
You're going 30 Years War, Martin, are you with them?
They're two identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do 30 Years War.
Yeah, no, I'll do 30 Years War. I'll do I've it's sort of as we said before on here, and also I've got a hankering to do a Swedish force and maybe some Saxons as well.
Yeah, well, this
I've
is
been reading up on the 30-year stuff. It's fascinating.
Oh, fucking hell!
Absolutely.
Oh no,
no, he hasn't.
It's just brilliant.
Hey!
All right, Hastings it is then.
Yeah. It's looking that way.
I think to be fair, as Benjamin's booked a room, I think we might have to reserve him a ticket in case he
Oh no, we won't let him in. Oh, no, just leave his figures by the door. Actually, the number of figures we might have to put it on in the car park anyway.
Yeah,
Jesus.
One last picture to go. This is from James. This is fantastic. It's the start of his
Oh my god.
his new project. It's a
Oh yes, this is
brilliant.
Oh, I love those. I love the arrow. The
Yeah.
actual arrows.
The sheath.
Really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, the sheath. Yeah, that's a really nice color.
That's a hell of a good
Lovely
rep on
work.
that one.
That's
Well
lovely,
done.
lovely work. It demonstrates as well just how big the longbow was.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It's a real
Yeah,
long
it's the-
bow.
Yeah, that's the only thing about the Wars of the Roses Perry figures that I would change is the bows.
They're a
Be
bit
longer.
short,
But-
aren't they?
but- well, it's just to depend which one. Is interesting.
Which
the
kit you
Agincourt-
get, innit?
Yeah, it was just which one sculpted them. I think it was Michael that sculpted. I think it's Michael who sculpted the Wars of the Roses ones, and his models are slightly broader. And Alan, I think, did the Agincourt ones, and they're slightly taller, and the bows are longer. But that's obviously 6 and 2 3s really when you've got the what's Miller going on about? I've already done Swedes. Oh, he's on about by fire and sword. Yeah, but I've only done like 12 men. Like I've done 12 pikemen and a little skirt, and that's a skirmish game anyway.
See, this is the problem I've got, right? Because obviously, I'm thinking about doing either 30 years or English Civil War. I prefer to do English Civil War, but the problem is I won't have a fucking opponent if I do it. At least I'll be able to play you at them if I do 30 years war. That makes sense.
The thing is, they don't. No one's gonna like really complain.
It's not really that much difference at all.
Like the only reason I want to do 30 Years War is because I want to sort of do more research into it. The battles are a lot bigger in the 30 Years War. If you're gonna do, if you're gonna do it at an epic scale, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. You know, the English Civil War battle, there's some big battles, but I just want to do something different. I just spent like 2 years doing the English Civil War. I don't see the point in me in doing it again.
Redoing it, yeah.
No,
Also, I'm happy. We're coming back exactly onto the scale thing before. I'm more than happy. I still think the games I play are really good fun. I mean, the one that's about to come up with Miller was great fun. Would having more regiments on the board make a difference? Not really. Not to me. Still be the same length of game.
True, yeah.
You still roll the same crappy dice, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Well, you wait till you wait till the game. You wait till the game.
My mate and I were both going to be doing ECW, but there's sort of an elephant in the room that none of us has raised yet.
Who's going to be
who?
Yeah, exactly. Because I know he won't want to be Parliament, and I certainly don't want to be Parliament. So
you do flip a coin.
It's a bit of a civil war going on, is it?
If you're both getting the Starbucks, why don't you just compromise and paint both sides each? Both do like a couple of parliamentarians and a couple of them each. Compromise.
Yeah. And then I mean, if
there's,
you play
there's no different apart from the sashes.
Wait until the Covenanters.
Wow.
No, I just think if you're playing as the Parliament side, you've got to make the game as least fun as possible.
Yeah, that's it. No, yeah,
just wear a hair shirt and just drink bread and water.
Apart from
all
the
way
pubs,
through.
So you seem to go every pub. So apart from that,
they go to every.
We got the Cromwell. We got the Cromwell, massive.
Nobody bigs up the Cromwell. Not even Cromwell.
Cromwell doesn't do it. No,
Cromwell didn't do it. Well,
well, he's the only geezer that's ruled the country that's not been a monarch. So there we go.
But he basically was a monarch.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. He had a coronation, didn't he? He's a monarch. He had a coronation to make himself Lord Protector. Here we go.
I don't know about. Have we got any evidence that Cromwell ever visited a tiger bar?
It could be a possibility.
Just say he did.
I think some of the clientele were probably still around from that period, to be absolutely fair.
Didn't mention before, but big thank you to everyone that continues to post all their pictures in the Facebook group. Obviously, we can't choose them all, but yeah, as I say every week and every time we talk about it, I love the group and I love what people are working on.
Yeah, it's great.
The wide array of just projects, and I know recently there seems to be a lot more questions recently about historical sort of uniforms and painting schemes and things like that. It's just it's been quite good. It's been a good mix of everything. But yeah,
I don't know whether it's me, but we do seem to. It seems to me we've had a lot of newer gamers into the group,
yeah,
and which has been fantastic because they're asking advice, and they're asking for kind of guidance on a few things, which is great.
Yeah,
I'm really pleased to see that.
That's the whole point of the group, isn't it?
It is.
The whole point.
It is. I think that's really good that you've got that mix of seasoned, grizzled veterans, and you've got people. I didn't say dumb.
That's what you meant.
No, it wasn't. Dumb. Ignore them. Ignore them.
Sorry, I didn't hear them as I'm too old. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, he ain't got his hearing aid in.
I haven't got a hearing aid in.
But yeah, no, it's great that you've got people been in the hobby for years, and you've got people new to it. It's just a good mix and a good diverse selection. And again, I keep saying it, but the difference in I just realised some pictures didn't show. It's done that thing again because for one.
Well, you're saying that it's good. It's good as well because there's a wide variety of.
No, there is.
Games,
there is.
Can
I just ask one? Can I just ask one question or one plea? Can people stop posting pictures of BattleTech?
Yeah, there was one up there today, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was Tony stuff. My willpower towards BattleTech, it's getting wafer thin at the moment, and you're just seeing people posting it up all the time. There's Tony and there's Matt and there's a few others. And anytime I go onto Twitter, Steve, he's posting his huge games of BattleTech. And I'm like, can people?
You know exactly what to do now.
No, you don't.
Exactly.
Stop it. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
You know exactly.
I think I am.
What to do.
I am going to crack one day though, because I've never painted. I've never painted any mechs from BattleTech. When I played it back in the day, I was sort of a bit of a young whippersnapper back then, and I used to just use the guys that went to the club, always use their mechs. So I've never painted them, and I'd love to paint them. I think they look really, really good. There's a guy Phil that posted in my group, Facebook group, and he's heavily into his BattleTech lore, and they're all done in the proper clans. Oh, it's just inspirational, but also dangerously bad for my wallet.
Go for it. You know you want to.
And we're close to 1,000 as well, aren't we? So we want to be able to say thousands of you.
Yeah, we are getting we are getting very, very close. I mean, how long is it? 2 years? You've had the Facebook group now.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah. Well, it'll be because we put it. It went live in January 2021. Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. And I know some people say they don't use it, but that's fine. Just send pictures direct if you have.
If you don't use Facebook, just there's a link to the our email address is in the description to this video. Just whack us across some pictures, and we'll have a bit of a gander at them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But, so and if you have game ideas, send them to us. But we're not just remember now for CrackCon, we won't be booking anything in, so we won't be reserving tables or anything like that yet. Just give us an idea of what you might want to run, and we'll tell you whether it's we can tell you. Well, basically, we can tell you if it's a no go, pretty much.
Yeah.
As in we can't hand over 7 tables or something like that.
Again.
10. Jinx. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Well, it'd be nice to get a good variety of games this time. I hope there's going to be another big Napoleonic game this year. There wasn't last year, was there?
No. Matt, you're treading on rather thin ice there, my man. Has anyone ever done a Fury themed BattleTech? Honestly, come on.
Someone played the Fury scenario last year.
Yeah, it was Andy.
And he had the video going as well, which was even better.
It was a very good game as well. Really good.
That's why I was hiding upstairs, getting my arse kicked in bolt action.
Yeah, to be fair, I've remembered to book the travel lodge now. There you go. Look at me.
Jesus. Oh, damn, we were hoping you'd be full.
No.
Which one?
I'd have slept. Yes, that is the cricket ground. I'd have slept in my car. You know what I'm like. Or if there's heat, I'd have just slept downstairs and be like, oh yeah, it's right. I just find it comfy down here.
Sleeping in the foyer of the hotel? I'm pretty sure they might have 1 or 2 words to say to you about that.
Certainly, we would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ken, only 7 tables.
He's coming back.
7.
Oh dear.
Well, set 7 tables with 2.5 tons of metal miniatures on top of them.
Christ, and I'll be a married man then as well.
You might be divorced by then.
Yeah. Nah, I can't get divorced until a year. You got to wait a year, haven't you?
No, you get
it annulled within the space of immediately.
Yeah, it's only 30 days. Yeah. No,
I like the fact he's already chucked that out. Checked all that out.
But it is a year, so yeah, I'm all right for a year.
It sounds like you've been researching, Ken.
Or maybe it's Laura's been researching.
Yeah. I nearly didn't get married when she saw that receipt that Martin knows about.
That sounds really, really sinister. So I'm not actually going to explain what it was. So we'll just leave it at that because I think that's
I just leave it at that. Well, gents, 10 o'clock is fast approaching. So just a reminder for next week, we're over on Miniature Wargaming Warriors, Fantasy Wargaming, or Weird Shit, as Dom likes to refer to it. What's your system of choice? So we'll be over there on Ken's channel.
It will be interesting because there's a lot of
It's a lot. Kings of War.
I know. We joke.
Age of Magic.
I know we joke about sort of weird stuff, but there are a lot of people who cut their teeth with fantasy and still enjoy it, and so I'll be interested to see just what people think, or if there's and also for any alternative rule systems and less well-known ones. So
absolutely. Yeah.
And if you have got a battle that features any of them, stick them up on the Facebook page because it'd be really good to accompany the discussion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that'd be
idea,
a rather
especially
nice
if it's some more unusual battles. That would be even better.
Turn it 28.
We're not going quite that weird, mate.
I've actually got plans to do a turn 28 battle report at some time. But
I want to see your subscriber comments on that one.
To be fair, the Turnip videos do quite well. I think when I posted my first one, I thought this is just gonna go nowhere. No, people loved it. They were just really interested in me doing something completely left field.
I just have to put this up here. Look. I will not let the missus put the travel log this year, not making that mistake again. Miller. Oh yeah, do that. Then I can just buy the room off you at a discounted rate.
God, Del Boy strikes again. You are intolerable.
He's impossible, isn't he? Jeez.
Right, so it's after 10 o'clock, so we are off. Big thank you to everybody for showing up and chatting with us tonight. Really enjoyed your input. Don't forget, head across to Boards and Swords Hobby for your 5% or more than 5% discount using the code PCP5. We will see you next week on Ken's channel, Miniature Wargaming Warriors. Have yourself a great week, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.